Get ready for a wild ride in the crypto markets. Options are expiring today. Soon, we're going to take a look at that. We're also going to take a look at the bad numbers that just came out for PCE, core inflation, that see how that affects the markets. We're going to get into it right now because we expect some volatility, and that's exactly what we're getting. We expect that CME gap to be closed. That's exactly what happened. I mentioned this yesterday because I got through my feed that 16.5 billion in options were to expire today on Friday. Okay, and I forgot about the PCE. Okay, which throws a damper on things, but this, I expected volatility last night when I saw this, and I thought, okay, today we're going to close that gap on Friday. The options expire completely in about half an hour from the time I'm making this video. So by the time you're watching this video, they would have already expired. And my thought was that after that, we were gonna, let's go here. After the drop, and I thought we were gonna close the CME gap, which we did. Okay, boom, closed. Okay, so I thought from there we would spend the rest of the day kind of going up and wicking this. Closing with a little body and a wick, which would have been bullish, and I thought, Saturday and Sunday we'd just kind of go sideways, and then next week Monday we'd start kind of hanging out here, moving up and trying to touch this line, trying to do what we did here this time, hopefully break through. But like I said, this is like I said earlier, this is the 86,000 now, so the number's dropping as far as having to get over. All right. That was what I thought was going to happen, but then the PCE came out, guys. Okay, so then PCE came out. Where is it? Right here. Just make a lot of notes to myself here. Jesus. Right here. U.S. headline PCE inflation held steady at 2.5. Good, fine. Core PCE, excluding food and energy, rose slightly above expectations, hitting 2.8 year over year with a 0.04 monthly rise. Okay, signaling persistent inflationary pressures, especially in services. So market discussions now anticipate the Federal Reserve maintaining higher interest rates longer to manage inflation. And in the short term, that's obviously bearish. Short-term bearish pressure likely as higher inflation may reinforce a cautious Fed stance. In other words, keeping interest rates elevated. Okay, so no cuts probably in the next meeting. Market's not going to like that, right? Watch key Bitcoin support levels closely sustained. High rates might challenge recent bullish momentum with possible test lower support range 78 to 80 if bearish sentiment intensifies. And that's all it is. People just have to feel a certain way to make their buying and selling decisions. Right? So that to me now throws a damper on it, saying, okay, now a lot really depends on how this closes. If this thing today, we won't know until much later today, if this candle of today closes how it is now, really close to this low, and I don't know that it goes too much lower. In about 30 minutes, it could start going up. But the thing is, how are people going to feel regarding this PCE stuff? Are they going to remain bearish? And if they do, if they're going to remain fearful now, then this is going to reprice a little bit, right? So the move that I thought could happen, and it still could. The other scenario is now, because of that information, is that the sentiment stays kind of bearish, and we kind of hang out here lower, 83 Saturday and Sunday. If that is in fact the case, I'd look up for Sunday to see if it's the beginning of a drop lower, okay, which more than likely would be if like the market just stays, like this for the next couple of days. Today, all day today, if it closes like this. So the big thing is how this candle closes. That's what I want to really say. How this candle closes is gonna determine what direction we're gonna go. If we see a long wick and a short body, then next week, probably Monday, we're gonna start seeing this again. And I think maybe this time we kind of go over it because it's only 86,000, okay, and we could start building some bodies over it. That would make people feel good. Now, if that fear, negativity persists, right, and then this candle closes like how it is right now, or even lower with a very small wick and a big body like this, then yeah, Saturday and Sunday, probably a little sideways consolidation, maybe some longer wicks, and then Sunday we could start experiencing a drop more, okay, maybe into 82, 81. see what happens. Okay, it's all on how the sentiment is. All right, how the sentiment is. So hopefully the sentiment decides to turn it around, and we see a wick as opposed to this long body with very small wick. Okay, small wick, you see it close, you look on Saturday and you see it close like that, then you can expect some more drop, probably from Monday down, right? Testing the lower area of this. Where would we have to lose it? Lose this uptrend more or less at like 83,800. I mean, we're right there, 84,300. So I mean, but again, a close below that. Okay, we could obviously wick lower and be okay as long as we close above that area. Okay, so the area of where this candle wants to close to keep at least the hope alive. 83,400 more or less. Right now we're 84.3. All right, so let's see how it closes. If it's below that, then yeah, the next week you can expect a testing of this lower area to see where the support is, or does it have to go all the way down to 75? It's possible, right? It's possible. That PCE number was not that great. Wasn't completely horrible, but I mean it does mean some things, right? Depends on who is looking at things and interpreting it, but it could mean stagflation. It could mean some bad things. Elevated inflation for sure, right? So let's see what happens, because other things should come into play, right? Other things should come into play that we don't know, right? Policy from the government that's starting to work or something like that. Big buys from I don't know, from a big company or something, right? You just don't know, and that could be enough to turn things around really quick. Okay, but these are the two scenarios I think that are playing in my head right now. I'm gonna go with the other one. I think we're gonna see a wick, but I could definitely be wrong. That's just pure guess. I know. Now you know what to look out for, guys. Okay, so short body, long wick. I would bet on 86 and breaking it. Long body, small wick. I would bet that we would go lower. Okay. All right. So that's how we're gonna play that, and I think that's it, man. I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see what's going on here. But going down this line, all right, we got to get past this line at some point. Okay, at some point. Let's take a look at some altcoins and then we'll call it. All right. Let's see what's up with Migos. Yeah. If we keep dropping, then Migos is probably gonna touch down here. Probably 0.024. Toshi is threatening to lose this area. Okay, could experience something like this, which is possible, right? All right, so let's see what happens there. If it drops, it will. Keycat the same thing. Look, it held on so strong. See, but this is why you just don't know. And it looked like, yeah, it's gonna move, and all of a sudden, boom. All right. For Keycat to keep dropping and come down here, we have to go below this area where it's currently at 0.0040. Okay. Touchdown. If it touches down here, I could see it kind of hanging out here for a little while. That would be the place to buy. That would be at 0033. Okay, 0033. See, and this is why I always say you don't know. So that's why maybe just nibble a little bit, or maybe just wait and see. Right? This is the reason. Dogging me, looking like it's heading to touch support right here. 0097. 3097. I would nibble and wait, because if things start dropping, then dogging me is going down here. 3074 and waiting, because I don't think Coinbase is gonna list them, when the sentiment is bad. That would be kind of big speculation on my part, and maybe they do list them. But if they do list them and based on bad sentiment, then that move up, which will happen, but it'll be muted. It'll be more muted than it should. So we'll see, all in due time. So if it does drop down here, I would buy some. I would buy some more for sure, without a doubt. 3074. All right, or maybe 3074. I'll wait for that. See what happens. I could bounce right here, and it could stay right here. Okay, so it's not guaranteed down here, but if you don't have any, if you're not exposed, right? If you don't have any exposure, 3097 might be a nibble area. 1 or 2 buys and then wait. Right? All depends on what the rest of the market does. We got to be watching Bitcoin. Okay, so that's how I would play that. I would really play these 4. That would be my main bags, because I think the chart looks so much better. Charts look so much better than the other ones that I've seen, and they got buzz, right? They got good teams. They're meme coins. Check this out, right? If you're still not sold on meme coins, and then we'll end it there. Okay, I said that yesterday. Meme coin. This was 19 hours ago. Dogecoin is up 13% this week and has officially passed Warner Brothers Discovery Inc. in market cap. Doge, a meme coin. If you watch movies, you've seen this sign, right? Warner Brothers, okay? And Doge has a higher market cap than Warner Brothers. All right, Doge is, what is it right now? 28 billion. And Doge will probably be upwards of 200 billion when we are in like a massive bull run. 150 billion, okay? All right, and you're telling me, dogging me, Miggles, Toshi, Keycat, dogging me, all good memes, right? I already mentioned all the other positive things that they have. They check off all the boxes. You're telling me they can't get to 5, 10 million, 20 million market cap, 20 billion market cap, right? I think they really can. I think they really can, and that's huge gains. So this is why I'm bringing this stuff to your attention. We're gonna leave it there. All right. So let's see what happens. Let's see what scenario plays out. All right. And if a -1 plays out, it's not the end of the world, because at any day, in any week, we'll get some different sentiment. It's all about sentiment, right? It's just fear and greed. How do people feel about that? All right. And if you get a good gauger of that, if you can gauge that by seeing things ahead of time, then you'll do well. Guys, have yourselves a great weekend. If you can, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. I'm trying to grow this channel. All that stuff really does help. With all that said, I will see you guys Monday. Have a good one. Peace.